This is a fun day today. We're in the Mi-Soul TV studios now. I've just been interviewing Shirley Jones, and now I've got the chance to speak to the lovely Natasha Watts.
I'm not sure if I can fill the same shoes as Shirley Jones,
daft.
but I'll have a good go. All right,
tell me a little bit about what's been going on with you, because it's sort of kind of quiet for a while, and then bang, all of a sudden everything just explodes. Yeah. So you've just been playing the Jazz Cafe. You did a solo show there, didn't you?
I did, my first solo show there, and it was a Sunday night, and there was about 180 come out, which I'm told is good for a Sunday.
Pretty good.
Not going to lie, I was slightly disappointed, but then I hold myself to quite a high. I just expect everything to be great, and if it's not, then I work really hard to make sure it is the next time. So that means I'm constantly pushing. So although everyone was going, oh, that's really good, and the turnout was great, and the performance was great, it wasn't good enough for me.
Well, that's good though, because it always means you strive to do something better the next
time.
Always. But you know, a couple hundred people on a Sunday night, you know, it's pretty good. The World Cup's on, people are watching football, all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of distractions for people.
Yeah, I wonder as well. I mean, you know, there's a few other locations in London, so I want to explore all of those, because it's that the thing is, you know, you get people from the south won't go to the north, and people from the north won't go to the south, and it's changing. I think the London music scene is changing, and I have also been told that other artists that have been coming there, they've also not been, it's not been sold out like it should, and you think, well, is it a sign of the times, or do people want something different? Do they want a new location? Are they bored with that? Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense to me. I mean, there are some great venues around. You know, I mean, like if you're in the south, I mean, Hideaway in Streatham is absolutely awesome.
Looking at that,
you know.
And it's smaller numbers there, but it's South London, and people don't want to have to get a tube back, or they don't want to have to get a taxi that's going to take them across the river, which to some people is like across the channel.
Well, I'm from Manchester. It's all a bit alien, this north-south thing. I mean, I've lived in London for a long time, but I do find it bizarre, though, this north and south thing. I've always found it really weird. You know, it doesn't make sense to me. It's just one city here, but you're right. People tend not to gravitate to either side.
And
you know, unless it's the West End or and now bizarrely sort of Shoreditch and Hoxton around that area where people are going toward that as well.
It's trendy.
It's a bit la-di-da.
Yeah, it's all trendy. So you've got like the city slickers, and you know the people from Essex, they sort of venture into Shoreditch but not any further. And it's, I mean, I'm not from London. I don't even know how I know logistics about that. But it's you know, you see events and you kind of, because I do my own bookings, I have to see what's working and what's not. And on the whole, generally, I don't get booked in London for whatever reason.
What's amazing, actually, is you say you do your own bookings and stuff, but also, actually, you sort of do all your own mail-outs and everything as well, or you CD. You do everything yourself, don't you?
I do a lot of it. I did take some external PR in for the album, and I have an external plugger and stuff, and it's... here's
Mr. Mac with a copy of said album. There we go.
As if by magic. Poof. But yeah, I don't...
You've grown your hair since then, haven't you?
I have, it's just a bit. It's not that long ago.
Really fast.
It has. Do you know, the second person to say that to me today, all of a sudden it just went, I know, we've digressed. All of a sudden it just went, boom. And I was like, oh. All of a sudden I've got hair. And like literally November I had a grade 2. So that's quite good. Anyway, we digress. Yeah, from the mail-outs for the album, I'm a great believer that if I don't put the work in, why should I expect anybody else to? And the reality is I haven't got anybody else to do it, so I have to do it, you know, and that's what's helped, you know, over 2,000 sales. That's
physical sales?
Physical
sales.
Wow,
that's pretty good now, actually.
For an independent, so Robbie, my friend
yes,
Robbie,
well, tell me about my friends.
Robbie and Frank.
My mad German friend Robbie and the crazy Dane Frank.
The crazy Frank.
Who are,
I love them guys.
I mean, this is Cool Million we're talking about.
Cool Million.
Two of the most unbelievably ordinary looking guys to talk,
ordinary.
you know, when you like sit down and chat with them. And like you just wouldn't believe that this sort of big German fella and this little Danish guy could actually make and produce all the music that they make together. It's unbelievable.
I know.
I mean, they really are a phenomenon, aren't they?
They did 9 tracks on the album. I had 3 externals, and even Robbie executive produced those to get them to the sound that he wanted. Robbie and Frank are just great. I mean, it's actually Kenny Thomas and Terry Jones turned around and said to me a few years back now, you want to hook up with Cool Million? This is when I was trying to do more soul and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, fine. How do I do that? And Kenny was like, I'll do it, I'll sort it out, I'll hook it up. I was like, all right, thank you. So he did. And then we started talking, me and Robbie, and I was like, you know, I'd like to be involved. I sent him, because I do house music, so I sent him the stuff. I was like, this is what I do. And then he was like, okay, well, we're doing a Christmas album. Would you like to sing, what was the song now? Oh, no, it wasn't Oh Holy Night, because I wanted Oh Holy Night, because I quite like that song. It was a Christmas Tree or something like that. Anyway, I didn't like it.
Years ago, that,
yeah, I didn't like it. And so I said to him, I said, look, I know you don't really know me, but can I write something new? And he was like, oh, I'm not so sure. And I said, just send me a beat and I'll do it. Well, he sent it, and I sent a song back within a couple of days, and he stuck, he loved it. I went and recorded it, they produced it, and I believe it's been one of the most successful tracks off of that Christmas album, because the others were all covers. And so every year when my royalties come through, I'm like, oh, it's been played loads.
Well, I mean, and people are always looking for new Christmas music to play.
I know. Yeah. So this one's called You and Me This Christmas.
Yeah.
And in fact...
And that's on the Said Soul Christmas album.
That's on the Said Soul.
Right, yeah.
And this Christmas just gone, I get a text, I'm just about to sit down to dinner, from a DJ friend. He's like, oh my God, Natasha, your song's just been played. Tony Blackburn on his Christmas Day show. I was like, check me out. How cool is that? I love that. I'm all over that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was like, then of course it's Christmas Day, and I'm like, I need to hear it. And he's like, and here's the latest Natasha Watts. So I was like, oh my God, Tony Blackburn saying my name. I love that. So that started the relationship. But every year I know it's going to get played and played, and I love that, because there isn't many soul Christmas songs. And actually, truth be told, I'm not that much of a fan of it, because in points I sound really pitchy, but it's a personal thing. But anyway, it's done really well.
That's just you being picky, though.
That's me being picky, yeah, of course. But it set me on the road with Robbie and Frank, and then they were doing Cool Million 3 album. And they asked me would I like to be a part of that. Of course, you know, he sent me, I think, 4 backing tracks. I had to actually pick which track I wanted. And I went for very 80s sounding, which ended up being Show Me, which done again, when, you know, Robbie has shown me the stats and stuff. And it's had so much more airplay and sales than so many of the others. It's, yeah, I feel really honoured. So.
Am I right in thinking that you're playing a gig with Cool Millions soon? Is
yes, that right? Margate Soul Weekender. That's August the 2nd.
We'll tweet them in a minute. I've just been having a conversation on Twitter with the Margate Soul Weekender guys,
okay.
So we'll tweet them in a minute.
Yeah, because they're lovely. The guy behind it is also a member of the West District All Stars, West Coast All Stars. West Coast.
Yeah.
I was in the West.
Change the name of that band.
No, I was in a band called the West District All Stars. All right, I'm sorry, get it wrong.
West Coast All Stars.
West Coast All Stars. So yeah, he's lovely, and again, that's all been met through the Cool Million family, and we are a family. So once I got in the fold, and I turned around, I said to Robbie, I said, I'm going to do an album, Robbie. Are you, Natasha? Yes, and I'm going to do this, and this, and you're going to help me do it. It's exactly how I said it. And he's like, okay. I went, really? And he literally, they've let me just go. And, you know, the last meeting I had with him was at Baltic Soul, and he's, you know, we was exchanging money and this, that, and he was like, you're just an absolute dream to work with, let's do the next one. I was like, yay! Brilliant. So yeah, it's been really good. And so
I mean, how do you find sort of making that transition from doing house music into doing soul music, which is because there are some soul tracks on here, but also that sort of 80s boogie feel as well? Some of the songs are a bit retro sounding. How have you enjoyed making that sort of change, you know, from singing house music into doing that?
I didn't set out with an idea of what I was going to do. I just set out going, I want to write songs that I like. I want to do something that will appeal to everybody. From, you know, I would like to think that anyone who's into any form of soul can listen to the album and know that there's something on there for them. Yeah. And I think I've done that, you know. Is that narcissistic? No, I know I've done that, you know, because when people come back and I say, I always say, what's your favourite track on the album? And it's always different. And that to me is a really good sign, because if everyone was coming back and going,
we're all going the same thing.
Yeah.
You'd think the rest of the other 10 or 11 tracks weren't that good, wouldn't you?
Exactly. And so I get some people tell me ones, I think, oh bloody hell, really? Because they're my least favourites. But that's just because I wrote the song so long ago that now I'm already on to the next writing, and I churn and write songs for fun. You know, everything I've put out there I've written myself. Some great, some not so great. But you know, it's all learning curve, you know. And
now, I was listening to the radio before you were doing an interview with Dr. Psycho, who you and him go back a while by the sounds of it. And you picked a track off here. What was the track that you picked, which was quite? I liked it. I thought it was really nice.
But the upbeat one or the low?
No, the slow one.
Go Slow. You didn't hear that before?
No,
really?
I missed it. It bypassed me completely, right?
That was #1. That was the UK Soul Chart #1.
But bypassed me.
I can't believe that.
Right, it won't bypass me again.
You like it?
Do you know what made me prick my ears up was the song, and then you talking about the erection section on the radio, and I'm thinking, are you kidding me? It's like when I first started DJing, of course, we had an erection section.
Exactly, and this is what I wanted to. One of that song, when I heard the beat, I was like, this is so. If I ever stood for Parliament, okay, the first thing that I would change in the drinking laws in the clubs would be 20 minutes before the end of the club, the erection section. You'd have none of this fighting. The only reason there's so much violence as people kick out from the clubs is because they've been going like that for 5 hours, the music gets stopped. You've got to bring them down gently. Yeah. You've got to bring in the erection section. If they cop off, they haven't got time to fight. That's how babies were made.
Do you know what was so funny though? Like, because you know, when you're a DJ, like you stand in the club, and this is going back a while now, because obviously we don't do it anymore.
No.
We play things differently now. But in those days when you used to play those slow records, you know, the DJs, it's time for the erection section. And but you're like in them days when you're sort of kind of playing these slow records. And then 5 minutes from the end, everybody's really into it, you know.
Yeah,
you get the you got what we used to call the 10 to 2ers, who were the people who were wandering around the club looking for somebody.
Yeah.
Right, so the club was full of 10 to 2ers, right, and then all of a sudden everybody would end up with somebody on the dance floor.
Exactly.
Right, and then you like 5-2, they're all dancing and they're kissing away, and you can see all that sort of stuff. And then we'd put all the house lights on.
Oh, and then like,
bang, and they'd all go, oh my goodness.
It's you.
You know, brilliant.
Wouldn't stop them though.
No.
They go,
take a deep breath, have a look at it, and go, oh, sod it. You know,
but there wasn't all that fighting.
No, there wasn't, you're right.
And it really did make a difference. You know, I met my son's dad on the erection section like 19 years ago. Yeah, I'm not with him anymore, but you know, it comes out of that, you know, small town nightclub. Sorry, I'm just falling apart. Small town nightclub, you know, it works. So anyway, back to that. That's what I think. And I can't believe you missed that.
No,
mate.
well, you know, sometimes it happens.
That's had the most airplay of any of them.
I'll make up for it now, though. You'll be able to see that in your next royalty check.
Yay! Boom!
Listen, thanks for talking to me today.
Oh, no, thank you.
And thanks for coming to Mi-Soul, and thanks for helping us celebrate our 2nd birthday. Two.
Lovely.
Thank you, darling.
Thank you.